Welcome to the Let's Talk with Paula show, where we have many different guests and many different topics. And tonight, I just want to thank you guys that did go out there and vote. The election is over with. Mayor Adams and Bowie is still the mayor, and you got some new people that are in, different positions now. So you need to go out there and look in Bowie communities, for the community information, and find out who won what election. Wanda Rogers, I can say that she is a member at large. She did win that seat, so hats off to her. And there's so many other people that did. I salute you all for running. And I just want to say that I was disappointed, though, that we had a low turnout. As much as we talk about voting, guys, all year long. There was a low turnout. I don't think it was that much publicity except for us. I told you that after we talked about one show, then I did get one card at my door after that, right?
Oh,
from
wow.
somebody that was running. And then I think I might have got two more after another show, that might have come up, but that was it. So it wasn't that much publicity out here for this election, and it was an important election. So we have a big election that's going to be coming up soon, and I'm asking you to do your research now, and I thank the people that were the first-time voters. I want to take my hat off to you for going out there and vote. I want my guests, they're not guests, they're all hosts. I want the hosts, my co-hosts, to introduce themselves. You know them all. So we'll start with you, Ross, because you're sitting over there. And I just want to say that
Paula.
you're getting more handsomer every day.
Well, Paula, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I don't want your wife to come here and beat me up now.
Well, I promise you she won't do that.
Oh, okay. You're looking good. Just want to
Thank
tell
you,
you,
Paula.
okay?
Just-
Go ahead and introduce yourself
Paula,
now.
my name's Ross Levin. I'm the Executive Director of Roots of Mankind. We are a nonprofit here in Prince George's County. We provide homeowners with financial literacy, financial empowerment. We also help seniors, veterans as well, with financial empowerment. We do first-time home buyer education. We also provide foreclosure assistance as well. People that are needed of assistance with loss mitigation, as well as I apologize, Paula. I was just looking at you.
I'm telling them to look at the camera.
And we also provide, like I was saying, seniors and veterans and homeowners with people. Oh, I'm sorry, Paula.
I threw him off. I'm sorry.
You did.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. I was just, because see, Tom gets on me all the time about not looking at that particular camera. And what happens is, I'm just want to explain to y'all what happens to us. We used to look, all through school they told you, well, my family said, you always have eye contact with the person that you're talking to. That's where I was raised, right? Always have eye contact with the person you're talking to. So that's the way we grew up. So, but when you're in the studio, they have certain cameras so that you're talking to the people, the audience that they want you to look at. I'm guilty of it, okay? So I just noticed that you had that eye contact. I looked at the camera and I saw you were looking at me, and the camera's tilted a certain way, right? So I just want y'all to know, so if we're not disrespecting you, it's that we've been taught to look at each other, to have a conversation, okay? So go here from there.
That's okay. And we also provide rental assistance counseling as well.
So Ross, it's around that time of the year, I know that you guys have been talking about, and then I'm gonna come to you, Donald, because you know about this too, that the property tax liens and evicting people was getting pretty high. The point has kind of slacked up. I want to go back to that, but I want you to introduce yourself because anybody can answer that question.
Oh, well, good evening. My name is Donald Bell. I'm an attorney here in Maryland. And I am here in Prince George's County. Specifically, my office is located in Greenbelt. And I am happy to be here this evening. Happy to be talking to your audience out here this evening, Paula.
And I thank you always, guys. So the question is this, that, you know, we were talking a few months ago about how it's tax time, you know, on your houses and your property, and that they had started a lot of foreclosures and stuff. I was just wondering whether or not the news that we were giving to our viewers, if it helped any, if, you know, even if they didn't come to you guys, have you seen a slowdown in the foreclosures, you know, for people not paying their property tax or paying their water? You know, have you seen a lot of people coming to get loan modifications? Because I know that they have a lot of advertisements on television telling people to come out, you know, to get loan modifications or, you know, interest rates, low, sell your house. That's what the commercials are. Most of them telling people to sell their houses, okay? So with those two topics, I don't care which one you pick, both of them are important. Whoever says whatever first.
Well, I'm going to tell you, as far as foreclosures are concerned, and Mr. Levin can back me up on this, foreclosures are on the rise here in Maryland. A lot of the COVID-19 programs have ended, and as a result, a lot of the moratoriums have ended. And people who were facing foreclosure before COVID, people who have fallen behind since COVID, many of them are facing foreclosure throughout the state. And I don't know if we're going to have a foreclosure crisis. I don't know if it's going to be to that degree, because so many people were helped by like a lot of the COVID-19 programs that were out there. But there's definitely more foreclosures out there at this point in time. And the, you know, the mortgage companies and the attorneys who represent the mortgage companies, I mean, they're foreclosing. It's back to business as usual, you know, pre-COVID, you know. So the numbers aren't as high, but they're steadily climbing and increasing. So if you are facing financial hardships, if you are, you know, 60 days, 90 days behind on your mortgage, then you do need to reach out. You need to reach out to a counselor, mortgage counselor, home counselor. You need to reach out to an attorney, somebody's local who you can go and sit down and talk and look them in their face, look them in their eyes, to see, you know, what options you have. You know, whether that be loan modification, whether that be, you know, bankruptcy, some type of repayment plan. Don't lose your home. Also, as far as loan modifications are concerned, I'm starting to see that the interest rates are a lot higher on these loan modifications because people are getting market rates. So whereas, you know, 18 months ago, 24 months ago, you know, interest rates were at 3 and 4%. Now they're at 7 and 7.5%. So, you know, the thing that I'm getting from a lot of people is, you know, hey, my mortgage payment has increased by $1,000. You know, if I take this loan modification, my mortgage payments are going to increase by $1,000. If I take this loan modification, my mortgage payments are going to double. So you need to really pay attention to that. If you don't understand what's going on, it may be worth going and sitting down with a housing counselor or going and sit down with an attorney who can sit down and look at that paperwork and explain it to you.
And so how do you feel? I mean, you see, he's telling you, but he's also advising people to come see a person like such as you. So do you see an influx in people coming to try to get loan modifications at this current time?
I do. I do. The thing is there are a lot of people that were affected and still are affected by COVID-19 because COVID-19 is still around. And
Oh yeah, say that one more time.
COVID-19 is still around. Yes, and I am looking at the camera, Paula. So
Thank you.
COVID-19, the programs and the relief, the mortgage relief, and the programs are not around anymore.
Right.
But COVID-19 is still around. So with that being said, the mortgage delinquency, people are still delinquent. There are homeowners that are still affected by COVID-19. So as far as loss mitigation and people that are behind, there are still assistance programs out there, but they're not like, say, for example, the Maryland Homeowner Assistance Fund. They've already exhausted all their funds, so there are no program. Those programs are gone. Okay, but there are loss mitigation programs out there, such as loan modifications. If someone has, say, for example, a FHA loan, there are partial claims and protocols for people that have FHA loans where you can go ahead and do a loan modification with a partial claim, VA loss mitigation options. But there are programs for people that can get assistance. But yes, Paula, there are a lot of people that are still in need of assistance.
Mm-hmm. And COVID is still around.
Mm-hmm.
It never left. I don't understand is that once school opened up, and I've mentioned this before, once school opened up, that you found that the little kids that were coming to school were infecting the other students, and then they would take it back home and infect their people. The key thing for you to pay attention to is that how many COVID kits are they out there now selling again? They have a whole lot of stores and pharmacies have a lot of COVID kits that are out there, okay, where they had, kind of dwindled a little, but now it's more people out there. People know that they have COVID. What I don't understand is that they'll go to the doctor's office and then they'll go get in line and walk in the store without a mask on. You know what I mean? So now you spread it to everybody that you were standing in line with, right? And you know you got it because the doctor just told you, okay?
Yeah, it's like people who had the flu or who had a cold. They go to the doctor and the doctor says you got the flu. And it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna still go and, do my normal stuff. And they'll spread the flu and to people who have compromised immune systems and whatnot. So, I mean, I don't know. It's like people, I don't know if it's like people just weary of COVID, COVID fatigue, I guess that's what it's called.
But
I think it's called long COVID is what I think it's called. Long COVID is.
Okay.
I think that's
But COVID fatigue, I'm not even going to say that anymore. You know why?
Yeah.
Because people had a good time this summer. People went all over the place. They went out the country on cruises. They went from one country to another. They went around without wearing masks. No, nobody can say that they're suffering from COVID fatigue right now, okay? Because they had a good old time during the summertime, okay? So, and still, there was a lot of people not wearing masks, okay? So the end result of that is because it never went away, they're not publicizing it on television, right? That COVID is still here. We don't even know if they got a new name for it, right? The programs have ended, which I'm alarmed about, that they were giving people these assistance, and both of you both said that, we have people that are in dire straits, okay? The companies have cut back because their products are either being stolen or not selling, or the prices are too high and people are not buying. I don't care whether you're going to the grocery store, where you're going, okay? And what is happening is that we don't have the financial ability to keep up with the inflation that's going on. I mean, people don't really want to say that we are actually in an inflatable state, okay? And so it bothers me because I understand that wars and rumors of wars is in the scriptures, wars and rumors of wars. And I know that we're in those times right now, wars and rumors of wars. But this country needs help. It still needs help. I understand that we have to help some other country to do, but what happens if I've seen this in my lifetime, and correct me if I'm wrong, we'll go and give all these people this money to help them, fight the wars that they're fighting against. And we give them all this money. We teach them how to use ammunition, how to use tanks, how to use whatever, that's out there. And then a couple of years later, they turn on us. But we gave them all this money to make sure that they could fight this war that they were fighting up against at the time. We trained them and taught them everything that they knew how to do, and then later on they turn on us. I mean, you know, not turn on us to come here and fight us, but I'm just turning on us and go with this, with their own new regime. I guess that's what you call it, okay? And we're still putting money out, but we have a crisis here at home. We have a crisis here at home. The people can't afford to buy food. People can't afford to maintain their homes. People can't afford, the people that are employing them can't afford to give them hours that they need so they can make their mortgage payments. So they're still cutting back on hours at different places, okay? So you can't make money, okay? So I know we talk about how you should budget and all that other stuff, but if the people that you're working for are cutting you back in hours, you understand, then you're not making the money that you were making. And so now if you were behind in your mortgage or you were trying to get a loan modification, your income is not going to allow you to do it, okay?
But Paula, see, the thing is that we were just talking about the elections and things like that. And what's important is that people can go and they vote and they can get their voice heard on what's going on with, you know, in the next election or the coming election. And that's why it's important for your viewers to know that they can obviously go ahead and they can, their voices can be heard. If they don't like what's going on, where the money's going, if it's going to this country or to this country or to this program, then they can go ahead and they can go and write to their congressperson or Congress senator or to their local official and say they want this, or their governor or whoever they want to go ahead. And now is a perfect opportunity for them to do that, to go ahead right after the show or take notes, and they don't like what's going on, they can go ahead and do that. And
I think it's important also that you make your voice heard, but you also, something that Paula talks about a lot of time is do your own research. Don't just listen to the talking heads on TV. Get, you know, with their opinions. You know, just don't listen to the person in the pulpit giving their opinion. Go out, do your own research. You know, I mean, as an American citizen, you have the right, okay, to question public officials. Why are you sending money to this country? Why are you sending it there? Because when you sit down and you talk to these people and they explain to you what the bigger picture is, okay, then it may make sense to you. It may not make sense to you. But at least you have an informed opinion at that point in time. Because sometimes there may be much, much bigger issues. But I do agree that, you know, for a person, you know, as a family man myself, you know, there is no bigger issue for me than me being able to provide for my family. And, you know, being able to ensure that there's food on the table, that we have a place to live, that we have a safe place to live, that my wife has a safe store to go to, and she doesn't feel threatened when she goes in the store. But that's all part of this whole system, and the way that we ensure that we have that is we got to vote. We got to put people in office that are, you know, that share our views and whatnot. And if the people who are there don't share your views, they need to go. But as a citizen, you have a right to question and to talk to those people. Because Paula in the previous show was talking about town halls, town hall meetings. Perfect way to sit up and talk to those officials. We got elections coming up. I think we probably got big countywide and statewide elections coming up next year. Perfect opportunity to talk to those people who are making those decisions.
And do your research.
Talk to them, find out why are you putting money into this school at Upper Marlboro, but you're not putting any money into this school in Bowie?
Or you haven't built a new school in Bowie.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And and you still put new schools out someplace else. You know?
Why,
I mean, so
why is that?
Yeah.
You know, and if you want my vote, you know, I want my kids or my grandkids to go to a
nice
school.
place.
Yeah.
right.
With good teachers.
And I'm just using that as an example. You know, like why aren't you recruiting better teachers into these schools?
Well, why aren't you paying the teachers better money?
Why don't I have a sidewalk
Yes,
in my neighborhood.
yes, yes,
all you
yes.
So
have
I
to
can
do
go
is-
out
right.
and walk my dog, or I can go out and
Right.
exercise. I can't
Or
exercise.
my child can ride their bicycle on the curb but not in the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I don't have a child, but I know my neighbor moved a few years ago because she was tired of pushing a stroller and watching the child on the bike walking down the street. So she moved from the house that she had. Wasn't nothing wrong with the community, wasn't nothing wrong with her house. But she moved into a community just down the road, okay, that has sidewalks.
And all you have to do is just pick up the phone. All you have to do is just pick up the phone and call your elected official.
You can.
But I
That's
bet
all
if-
you have to do.
I bet if like, you know, if majority of people in a certain neighborhood want those sidewalks, and if they get in contact with the officials and they start voicing their opinions, and they getting phone calls and they getting emails and town hall meetings, people saying, you know, on XY seat we need sidewalks
Yeah.
or we need speed bumps
Yeah.
because people are driving through here too fast.
Right.
That's how you
That's how
effectuate
things
change.
get done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how things get done.
You can even call any senator, you know, any elected official that's down at the Capitol. All you have to do is call and get. I have the number on speed dial, okay? That the person that represents your district, you know what I mean? You can call them. You can call them. You can even email them, okay? You can even get. I know that the senior citizens in law helped the guy. He didn't win to be the mayor-in-law, but they helped him run because they got petitions. The people to sign. They went out there and, you know, had the people to sign things that they were looking for to be done in the
Yeah,
community.
even you know, even like if you want to talk to your senator, like Senator Van Hollen.
Oh, yes.
Or whatnot. I mean, you can literally pick up the phone and talk to somebody on
From
his
his
staff
office,
and
right.
set up a meeting. You know, I
Right.
mean, to talk to. I mean, and that's the senator. There are 2 senators for every state.
Yep.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
and you vote for them.
Yep.
They're gonna talk to you.
Yep.
Your congressman that's in your district that goes to Washington D.C. to vote on federal issues, you
Yep.
can talk to that person,
Yep.
or the representative that
Or
goes to
someone from their-
Annapolis.
right. Or someone from their office.
Yeah,
Yep.
And you definitely can do it because I've done it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I know that it's true, and it's not a hard thing to do. Even if you and I have to say this because it's not an electoral year, so I can say this, okay? If you live in PG County and you have a problem, you call Senator Van Hollen's office, he's gonna have somebody get back in touch with you.
I agree
I'm
with
gonna
you
tell you that.
100%.
He's gonna have somebody tell you if it's not his district or it's not what he's supposed to do. They're gonna give you the information that you need and put you in touch with somebody else. I have to take my hat off to him because I have referred. This is not an election year, so I can say this. I have referred so many people to him, and they come back to me and say, thank you very much. Because he couldn't help me, but at least the person in his office told me, you know, where I can go and what I can do and who I need to see and how I need to do it.
Yep.
You know, and so I did my homework on him, okay? And I personally had an issue that I needed to have resolved, and they helped me with it, okay? So, I'm not telling you that because I'm saying this is what you're supposed to do. I want you to look him up for yourself. Look up his record. Look and see what he's done, or did he do what he said he was going to do? Or if you have an issue, is he going to help you out? Not just him, but any one of them. Okay? See if they're doing what they said they're going to do. You have enough time to do that now.
So I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. The tax issue, where we fought and we got the guy's property back. The tax sale issue, where we fought and we got the guy's property back. $100,000 property, lost it for $1,000 tax lien. That referral started in Senator Van Hollen's office. He sent it to a housing counselor, and the housing counselor found
What loophole?
found me as the attorney.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So that's how you effectuate change. You know. So, you know, I mean, I'm not just tooting Senator Van Hollen's, horn here, but
No, we're not, but we're telling you that
But this
we
is how
know.
this is how you can get things done.
Yes.
And that's what those elected officials are there for.
Yes.
Right.
You know, I mean, the senator couldn't do it, but he found, you know, nonprofit who found an attorney who got that person, who that person can keep their house now. They were going to lose their house.
And so, you know,
So when you have these problems, reach out to those elected officials. That's what they're there for.
now you can even call and leave a message for the vice president or the president, okay? You could have a classroom of students to sit down and write a letter to the president of the United States, okay? He will get it, okay? And they will answer you. So I'm just saying that there are things that you can do. If you can't do them, if I'm saying to you school teachers, I take my hat off to you. Have your students write a letter to the governor, the superintendent of the school of your district, or whomever it is that you need to write to, the president of the United States, and tell them that your teachers are not getting paid the money that they need to be, and they're not safe in these classrooms, and they need to make sure that the teachers have masks. They need to put a mask mandate back in practice right now. I mean, really, because it's the little kids that is I'm just talking about people just talking to me, okay, that are actually bringing the COVID home to their families, okay? Wear a mask. I'm gonna say this to you. If you don't want to wear a mask all the time and you think that bothers you, just put one on when you go in the store. When you get back in your car, take it off. If you're going in a crowd of people and you're going to a concert or something, wear a mask. When you go, if you need to take it off, go in the bathroom, open up the stall in the bathroom, take it off for a few minutes, get your little breathing in, and then put it back on and go back out.
Also consider updating your vaccines.
Yeah, that's what the next thing I was going to say.
that's a
Look
great
at the
idea.
boxes. I don't care whether or not you just bought them or whether or not you had them. You need to look on the box for the expiration date. If they have expired, they are no good. Throw them in the trash, okay? You got COVID tests from last year that probably are not any good. You might run across some of these stores that have them that you look at the expiration date, that the expiration date is expired already, okay? But I'm telling you, make sure that the expiration date is current, because if they're no good, you're not going to get a good reading on the test. And thank you, because we said that the last show as well, and I'm going to say it all winter. You don't know whether or not, you just cannot assume that you got the flu, okay? Because they all have the same symptoms, okay? They're calling it something else. They got so many names for any kind of lung respiratory problem. They don't call it COVID, they call it RSVP or whatever. I'm just using that. They ain't RSVP, but it might as well be right. But they got different names for all these different things.
RESPs.
Yeah, whatever, respect, whatever. They're calling them everything now. So you need to make sure that it's just, the people in the hospital that I talk to, they said that they keep putting down here that people are dying from pneumonia, but it's not pneumonia, it's COVID. They know that they had COVID, but they put on the death certificates pneumonia, okay? So I'm saying to you, I've had 2 deaths in 2 months. I had an aunt that died last month, and I had my uncle died 2 days ago, okay? And both of them had strokes. Something's going on. Ron Peterson, we take it off to you. Jonathan Kirby, we take our hat off to you, because both of those guys have been on this show and both of them had strokes. There are more stroke victims that I've seen in the last year than I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And I don't understand that, whether you're young or you're old. So good night.
Good night.
Good night.